Alright, now let's take a look at how to work with our metadata here inside of Bridge CS3. And what metadata is a series of information that's built into your file automatically by your camera when you actually shoot the photograph that you're bringing into Bridge. For instance, let's go ahead and take a look at the metadata for this file, this flowerorange-2.jpg. I'll increase the metadata pane here so you can actually see exactly what metadata is. For instance, it's got the file name, document type, application, date created, date modified, file size, dimensions. It's got all kinds of information in here. Resolution, it's got bit depth, color mode, color profile. All of this information is embedded parametrically in this file. And anytime you use that file anywhere in any other application or anything like that, this metadata comes with that file. So it's kind of like a little description card that's permanently attached to this image. So what we want to do is we want to take some of this metadata and we want to add to it. For instance, there's no copyright notice for this particular file. So we want to go ahead and add a copyright notice to this. We want to add it in such a way that it becomes a template so that we can use it on multiple files as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come up here to the File menu. I'm going to choose File, come all the way down and choose File Info. Now inside this dialog box you have the ability to add many different things. You have the ability to add document title, author, author title, description writer, copyright status, and all kinds of things like that. However, we don't want to add a document title simply because all of these are going to be titled something completely different. So all we want to do is fill in the author. In this case, we're going to call this John Doe, and we'll give him the title of photographer. And then we'll come down here and we'll say copyright status, we'll say copyrighted, and we'll go ahead and fill this in as 2007. And then I'm also going to come up here and I'm going to select IPTC status, and for right usage terms, I'll say all rights reserved. Now we've got all that information filled in. You could go through here and you could check all the rest of this data if you wanted to. For instance, this was shot with an Nikon D80. You could see here all this metadata that we have here is still stored parametrically with this file. So if you wanted to check on that, you could certainly do so. Or you could actually add in some categories, supplemental data that you wanted to add in. You can go through and add any of this. For this particular file, we're only going to add the copyright status, and then we're going to come down here and we're going to choose Save Metadata Template. When we do that, I'll just fill this in as John Doe. Go ahead now and click Save, and now that's saved as a metadata template that we can apply to any number of these files here. So I'll go ahead and click OK, and now we're ready to apply this to the rest of those flower images. So let's go ahead, we'll select all of the rest of them, and I'm just going to do that by shift clicking all the rest of these files like so. And I'll select these last two by control clicking like so. And now we're going to come back up underneath the File menu. This time we'll go down to File Info again. And I'm going to come down here and I'm going to select John Doe from this flyout menu as my metadata template. And when I do that, you'll see here it fills in John Doe, photographer, copyrighted 2007. It leaves the description and keywords as multiple values and maintains all the rest of the values for these specific files, which is really nice that it does that for you. The IPTC status, it's copyright 2007, all rights reserved, so everything should be okay. We'll go ahead now and we'll click OK. And now for each one of those individual files, that file info should be there. So let's just select one of these files at random to make sure that it's stuck, and we'll go ahead and choose File, File Info one more time, and there's all of our metadata correctly placed right there inside that file as it is for the rest of the files there in the content window. So that's just how to quickly and easily append the metadata, and also how to create a metadata template so that you can sync your edits across the board here inside the Bridge.